Hi besties, welcome to our first ever tea time. I'm so excited about this. Honestly, I imagine you watching this as you're going to bed or getting ready for bed or just watching it as a way to end your day. And I hope it just gives you some peace and happiness in your heart. I hope you had a great day today and I hope this video will make it even better. Thank you for being here. I love you. Okay, so I have some notes written down and I know that we all kind of wanted to talk about relationships, whether it be relationships with your friends or relationships as lovers. I feel like going into adulthood and creating relationships with anybody, honestly, is difficult. I'll start off with friendships. I definitely think that it's very common for people to have like falling outs with very important friendships in their lives. I know that that has even happened to me, and I feel like becoming an adult, it's difficult to kind of create your own life while at the same time maintaining close relationships with people. And I know that that can create a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of anger, and sometimes it doesn't always work out with friends. I know me and one of my best friends kind of dealt with this at one point, and it was really hard because like I went from talking to her every single day and being so close to her to literally hardly talking for a good year, and things always felt so tense and so weird, and we were both angry and hurt and upset at different things, and we were both too stubborn to even try to be okay, like too prideful, I guess. And it wasn't until we both finally like put our pride aside and talked about really what was going on, about how we felt, what we were sorry for, what we felt angry about, what we felt pain for, that's when things literally started to get better and change and come back to normal. And that's when things started to be okay again. And as for a relationship with lovers, I mean, coming from somebody that has been in a almost a 4-year relationship, we started dating when I was 19. It's not always easy, and I feel like sometimes when communication gets lost and pride gets in the way and people are too stubborn to admit their faults or apologize or don't try to see eye to eye with people, problems are created. I mean, that's something that I really have definitely learned in this relationship with my boyfriend, is how important communication is. Like, when you're bothered at something, say it. That is something that I am 100% like, I'm that way now. Like, I used to be somebody, I feel like, that was very passive about my feelings. I've always felt very strongly, but I wasn't so like on it about letting somebody know when something bothers me, and that is something that I'm really working on. I feel like it's so important to not carry weight on you, to not allow yourself to push feelings down. Like this past year, I feel like I've really tried to get my feelings out there and let people know what's bothering me, let people know where I'm feeling pain, let people know where I'm feeling anger, or even the opposite, when I'm happy, when I'm excited. Like, I really try to voice my feelings, because communicating how you feel to people and at least attempting for another person to see eye to eye with you and see your perspective is so important. And I feel like that's the key to all relationships. Like, I know that I'm a super stubborn person, I'll admit it. I'm a Taurus, and I feel like it's built in us, at least some of us. I'm speaking for myself. Like, stubbornness is just there, and that's something that I've really tried to work on, is not allowing myself to just be so like hard-headed, because I can be. So I feel like admitting your faults, understanding your faults, trying to find your faults, trying to find the traits that maybe aren't the healthiest, and then working on those is so important. And I feel like as you grow up, that's just something that you learn along the way, is like, what can I do to be better with myself? What can I do to be more enjoyable to be around, you know? I feel like if you're struggling with your relationship or your friendship, like, try to think about what your communication is at. Like, would you say that it is healthy? Would you say that you could do better? And sometimes being the bigger person, I know it's difficult because I used to never want to be the bigger person ever. Sometimes being the bigger person is the most important thing. Like, at least you can get off your chest, like, I've tried my best, I've done all I can with this person, and that's it. Like, at least that you tried, you know? In a few years, when you look back, whatever the outcome is, you can say, I did my best. And I feel like that's so important. Also, I feel like at the end of the day, to have a healthy relationship with somebody else, you need to have a healthy relationship with yourself. Once again, dealing with personal confidence. There was a point in time where I was so like, I did not love who I was as a person. And that came from my struggle with acne. Like, you guys know how emotional I get. Like, it's a very emotional thing. I feel like that point in my life really ended up creating like some issues for me, which I feel like I've gotten past now. But when I was dealing with acne, like I was so sad, you guys. Like, literally was not happy with myself. Like, I felt bad for other people having to be around me. Like, legit, I really felt that way. I felt bad when people had to look at me. And I feel like it's so, like, saying it kind of sounds ridiculous, but I know how I felt, and that's genuinely like how I felt. I felt so terrible for somebody having to look at me in the eye and looking at my acne all over my face. Like, I was disgusted with myself. I would look in the mirror every single morning, and I felt like a monster. Like, I looked in the mirror and I didn't even feel like I was looking at myself. Every single night I would go to bed and touch my face and feel the pimples all over my face, and I would cry and cry. And I would pray every single night that some miracle would happen for my acne to go away. And I just became so obsessed with how my acne was making me feel and how much it was taking away from me. And it did. Like that whole few months or a year of my life, I don't even know anymore, is like such a blur to me, like genuinely. You know, like I remember parts and like moments and like obviously events, but I look back and I'm like, I don't know how I like survived that. Like, really, I don't. I feel like it makes me so sad. Like, I feel like I don't want to cry, but like I just feel bad for like my past self, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so happy now, and I'm so grateful for my life, and I'm even grateful for that time. But like, I just feel so bad for myself. Like, I wish I could just like go back and like give myself a hug, you know? Anyway, talking about confidence, I feel like if you're dealing with any type of insecurity that may be making you feel that way or maybe taking away from your energy, like, I just want to personally tell you, like, it's gonna be okay. Like, it is gonna be okay. I promise you, things are gonna get better. And I hope that this little bit can speak to you and give you some amount of confidence. Like, I'm speaking to you and your heart. If you need to hear this, like, it is gonna be okay, and I love you. And that is my bit of confidence for anybody that's feeling like that. But anyway, I just feel like from that, like, I've learned so much of why it's so important to love yourself and like be proud of yourself. And that just kind of ties into like right now, if you're comparing your life to other people, I feel like I can even do this. I can constantly compare myself to people's lives that I see on social media, even though I know social media is fake. It is not real. Like, I try to tell people that on my social media, even though I like posting reels and like pretty pictures and outfits and stuff. Like, at the end of the day, social media is fake, and I'm only posting highlighted parts of my life. I feel like it's hard to remember that when you're looking at other people's lives and seeing what other people are doing, because we just are constantly taking in these like unrealistic standards that we have set for ourselves. Like, that alone, you need to stop. Let's stop comparing our lives. Let this be like a snap back to reality for you, because it's not okay to do that. And right now, in this moment, we are where we are supposed to be in our lives. And I feel like that has really allowed me to like love my life every single day and like really appreciate it for what it is. I'm 23 years old. I live at home with my parents, and I'm so blessed that I do. So somebody asked me about romanticizing my life and like how I have the motivation that I do, but like I really try to think about how lucky I am to be in the situation that I'm in right now. I try to think of other people that wish they were in the same position that I was in right now. Like, how many people have lost their parents and wish that even for a day they could live at home with their parents and give them a hug. I'm so grateful that right now in this moment, my parents are in the other room. Like, right now in this moment, if I need to talk to my parents, I just get up and I go out the door and I'm there. How much more grateful can I be that right now, if I need to get up and give my dad or my mom a hug and just tell them that I love them, like, I can tell them that, you know what I mean? That's just what I do for me, because I feel like I can kind of see other people and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person is living on their own, they already have an apartment, they're already doing this thing. Like, so for me, reminding myself of those things that I just mentioned is what's so important for me. But I feel like in any situation that you're in, finding one good thing and really fixating on it and seeing like, wow, this is so special, can make such a difference, like really such a difference. And just knowing that I'm where I'm supposed to be in my life. Like, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason, because it does. there are so many things that have happened and I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, if that wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't have been able to do this. For example, I applied to a cardiac sonography program this past year and I was so upset about not making it, you guys. Like, I was crying. I was so upset. And it's a very competitive program and I was really hard on myself for not making it because I feel like I've always tried to do the best in school, and this was the first time where I felt like I failed. Like, I felt like, oh my god, like I really let myself down. But if I had gotten into that program right now in this moment, like I wouldn't have been able to connect with so many of you because I'd be busy like doing something else, which is fine. But I wasn't meant to be in that program this year. Like, I was meant to be here connecting with you guys. And this year, I am able to spend more time with my parents. I'm able to spend more time with my boyfriend. I'm able to travel a little bit more than I would have been able to. I'm able to focus on other things that bring me joy as well. Like, I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful that I didn't make it into that program. And I'm grateful that I can even realize, like, that's a blessing within itself. And I know that when it does come time to reapply, and when it does come time to actually get into the program, that timing will be perfect for me because everything happens for a reason, and I cannot stress that enough. Like, everything happens for a reason. I even feel better talking about this right now. Like, this made me feel good. I feel like I kind of ranted a little bit and went off on different topics, and I'm sorry for that, but I hope that something in this helped you. And I hope that you know that whatever you're going through, you're not alone. Like, I feel like sometimes I sound like those cheesy, like, inspirational quotes, but honestly, it's the truth. Like, you really are not alone. And when I was going through, like, hard times, and when I go through hard times, sometimes I feel like I can isolate myself and I can kind of forget that people experience things and they go through things. So if you need advice or you need help with, like, anything, reach out to somebody, because I promise you that somebody is willing to listen to you. I'm willing to listen to you. I would love to listen to you and have you vent to me and confide in me. Like, I would be so thankful for that. Now that my DMs are always open, it's kind of hard for me sometimes to get back to every single message, but I promise you I try. And if you ever need anything, I will try my best to be here for you. And I love you, and thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to spend time with me. And I hope you had some tea too. I am gonna go get ready for bed now, and I'm gonna finish my tea because I've been taking forever to sip it. But yeah, I love you so much, and I will see you soon.